gotta have the will to accept the truth and buck the system and the group collective. Do that, and you'll earn your way to the next level. This is the Info War.
And we're back. Mike Cernovich, twitter.com/Cernovich. Follow me there. The final segment, I guess we can talk about James Comey and fake news because it's at the intersect of so many things that are wrong in our country and why it's so important to fund the info war. So there was an article, it was a tweet actually that CNN posted before James Comey testimony, and they go, sources tell us, CNN, Jake Tapper, they go, sources tell us that James Comey is going to testify that Trump was under investigation. Sources. That was the big story. Well, as we all know, and I think we have the article getting ready, so they had to change the title of the article after we humiliated them on Twitter, correction update. So the original tweet had said that Comey was going to testify that Trump was under investigation. So it's all fake. That's the whole thing. This is what they do. Oh, sources told me. So let me tell you a little bit about the sources the fake news media had, because remember, James Comey testified under oath that the New York Times is fake news. Think about that. Let me talk about a headline. James Comey testifies under oath that the New York Times is fake news. This is the world we live in. That really happened. And remember, there was a February article that came out in the New York Times which claimed that there was a major investigation about Russia and Trump. James Comey said the article was wrong. It was complete nonsense, under oath. So James Comey went under oath and testified that the New York Times is fake news. Their articles are fake. CNN claims sources are telling them that James Comey is going to testify that Trump was under investigation. And of course, as we know, Trump was not under investigation. Comey even said Trump wasn't under investigation, which brings us to another more interesting point. Marco Rubio. We've been hard on Marco Rubio, but you know what? We're real journalism. Infowars.com is real journalism. Mike Cernovich, real journalism. So when Rubio does great work, you know what you do as a real journalist? You say, I might have my problems with Rubio, but Rubio killed the game, murdered the game. Talk about the all-star of the day, the MVP, Marco Rubio MVP. And he made such a poignant point that I didn't even think about it. He was so good, his game was so high and so hot that I was like, wow, I didn't even think to make that point. That was how good he was, the MVP of the day. And he said, isn't it interesting that everything that is getting leaked to the media, except that Trump was not personally under investigation by Russia? What a just a tactical nuke at the fake news media, right? You know, we had the Cuban Missile Crisis with Castro, coming close to Florida. Marco Rubio, that was just a nuclear missile strike right there at the fake news media. That is interesting. That why is it that we have all these leaks about investigations? And as James Comey testified under oath, that leak to the New York Times in that February article was actually a fake leak. It was a fake news manufactured story. It's not true. As that CNN headline, which they initially tweeted that Comey's going to testify that Trump was personally under investigation, with James Comey under oath said the CNN is fake news, right? So we got all these leaks going out there that are fake, when the truth is that Trump was never under investigation from Russia. So who is actually leaking this information? Do they have any real sources in the New York Times or the Washington Post or CNN? No, here's a source to them. They could go know a friend who's a lobbyist. That's why they don't name the source. They could have a person who is a lobbyist working for Obama. And you know what they'll do? That person will say, oh yeah, Trump is under investigation. And then when you don't name the guy, you keep them anonymous, they go anonymous source with personal knowledge of the FBI said this. It is all fake. It is fake news. James Comey under oath proved that CNN is fake news. James Comey under oath said New York Times is fake news, but you know what real news is? Infowars.com, Infowarsstore.com, Infowarslife.com. You are listening to the real news. You're watching the real news. Mike Cernovich, thank you for the support.
What the aging process is when the cell replicates, we lose a little bit of our telomeres. Telomeres are the little cups on the end of our chromosomes.
And when it runs out, you start dying.
Secure your DNA force today at InfoWarsLife.com.